This is the AO1 content for robbery. First of all, robbery is defined in Section 8 of the Theft Act 1968. It is an indictable offence with a maximum life sentence. Definition, second point, defendant steals and immediately before or at the time of doing so, and in order to do so, he uses force on any person or seeks to put them in fear of being then and there subjected to force. So, like with any crime, we look at the actus reus first. The actus reus of theft must be proved, so that's appropriating property belonging to another. If there is no theft, then there is no robbery, and that's the case of Robinson. Section 8 says that force or the threat of force must be used immediately before or at the time of the theft. The case of Lockley expanded this to include force being used in order to escape. And the reason for that is they said the theft was continuing, so it was a continuing act of appropriation. The force or threat of force can be used on any person. It doesn't have to be on the victim. And then just remember that the force or threat of force must be used in order to steal. What is meant by the word force? Well, Dawson said force can be minimal. It can include things like wrenching a bag, which was the case of Clouden. Snatching a cigarette was not counted as force, so it wasn't robbery. When you've looked at the actus reus, then you must look at the mens rea. So the mens rea for robbery is the mens rea of theft. So that's dishonesty, the Ivy test. So would a reasonable person think that D was dishonest by the standards of reasonable dishonest person? And also the fact that the defendant has to intend to permanently deprive the other of the property. The defendant must also intend to use force or the threat of force. And remember, the word intent is defined in Mohan as a desire to bring about the prohibited consequences. So that is the AO1 for robbery. So quite straightforward because you know what theft is. And then you just have to add all the other points about the timing of the force, what is force, and is it used in order to steal?